Imagine this. You get a better job. Your salary increases. You finally feel like you're doing well. So you move into a nicer apartment, buy a better phone, upgrade your car, eat at better restaurants, and maybe take a few more vacations. Nothing seems wrong. In fact, from the outside, it looks like you're succeeding. But then something strange happens. Your income is higher than ever, yet somehow, you still feel broke. You earn more, but you don't feel richer. And here's the scary part. You might not be bad with money at all. You might simply be trapped in one of the biggest financial traps of the middle class. It's called lifestyle inflation. And the trap isn't that you spend money. The trap is that every time you earn more money, your life quietly becomes more expensive. So instead of your income creating freedom, it creates more bills. And once you understand how this happens, you'll start seeing it everywhere. Let's say there's a person named Rahul. Rahul is 25 years old and earns 35,000 Indian rupees a month. His lifestyle is pretty simple. He lives with roommates, uses public transportation, orders food occasionally, and doesn't think too much about expensive purchases. He manages to save 7,000 Indian rupees every month. Then something great happens. Rahul gets a promotion. His salary jumps from 35,000 Indian rupees to 50,000 Indian rupees. He feels like he's finally moving forward. And this is where the trap begins. He thinks, now I can afford a better life. So he moves into a better apartment. Then he buys a new phone on EMI. Then he gets a nicer motorcycle. Then he starts eating out more often. Then subscriptions appear. Streaming, food delivery, shopping memberships, gym, online services. Small expenses that don't feel dangerous individually. And suddenly, that extra 15,000 Indian rupees of income has disappeared. Rahul is still saving around 7,000 Indian rupees. His salary increased by more than 40%. But his wealth barely changed. Why? Because Rahul didn't increase his savings rate. He increased his lifestyle. And this is where middle-class money problems become interesting. Because poverty and wealth aren't simply about how much money you make. They're also about how much money your lifestyle requires to continue. The invisible upgrade. Here's a simple way to understand it. Imagine your income is a bucket of water. Every month, money flows into the bucket. Now imagine your expenses are holes at the bottom. When your income increases, you have two choices. You can make the bucket bigger, or you can make the holes bigger. Most people accidentally do both. They earn more and immediately create more expenses. The result? The amount of money left over doesn't change very much. This is lifestyle inflation. And psychologically, it makes perfect sense. Humans adapt incredibly quickly. The first time you buy an expensive coffee, it feels special. After a few weeks, it feels normal. The first time you move into a nicer apartment, you're excited. 6 months later, you barely notice it. The new phone feels amazing for a few days. Then it becomes your normal phone. The expensive restaurant feels like a luxury. Then it becomes your Friday night. And that's the dangerous part. Luxury becomes normal. And once something becomes normal, giving it up feels like losing something. Even if you never needed it in the first place. Why more money doesn't always make you feel richer. There's a psychological phenomenon behind this. Your brain quickly adjusts to improvements in your life. It's called adaptation. Imagine your income goes from 40,000 Indian rupees to Indian rupee 70,000. At first, 70,000 Indian rupees feels incredible. You think finally, I can breathe. But after a while, your brain recalibrates. Now 70,000 Indian rupees feels normal. Then you see someone earning 1.2 Indian rupees lakh. Suddenly, 70,000 Indian rupees doesn't feel like success anymore. Your reference point has moved. This is why someone can earn 30,000 Indian rupees and feel comfortable, while someone earning 3 Indian rupees lakh can feel financially stressed. The number itself isn't the whole story. It's the relationship between income, spending, expectations, and financial security, and social media makes this much worse. Because you're constantly seeing people with better cars, bigger houses, expensive vacations, new gadgets, designer clothes, and seemingly perfect lifestyles. You don't compare your life to the average person anymore. You compare it to the highlight reel of thousands of people. And your brain doesn't care that many of those lifestyles may be financed by debt. It simply sees they have it. I should have it too. That thought is incredibly expensive. Now let's get to the deeper problem. The middle-class money trap isn't simply buying expensive things. It's building a lifestyle that requires your current income forever. Think about that. If you earn 60,000 Indian rupees a month and your lifestyle costs 45,000 Indian rupees, you have some breathing room. But if your income increases to 1 Indian rupee lakh and your lifestyle eventually grows to 85,000 Indian rupees, you may look richer. But financially, you haven't created much more freedom. You've simply built a more expensive life. And expensive lives come with something most people don't calculate: pressure. The bigger your monthly obligations become, the more dependent you are on your salary. A person with a modest lifestyle might be able to survive a job loss for months. A person with a huge EMI, expensive rent, multiple subscriptions, car payments, school fees, and lifestyle commitments may panic after missing one paycheck. So here's the paradox. You can earn more money and become less financially free. Because freedom isn't just about earning. Freedom is about having options. The EMI illusion. One of the biggest tools behind this trap is the EMI. Because your brain doesn't naturally think in total prices. It thinks in monthly payments. A Indian rupee 120,000 phone sounds expensive. But 5,000 Indian rupees a month? Suddenly it feels manageable. A 15 Indian rupees lakh car sounds intimidating. But a monthly EMI that fits your budget? It feels possible. And this is where psychology takes over. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" people ask, "Can I afford the monthly payment?" Those are two completely different questions. If you focus only on the monthly payment, you can gradually fill your life with obligations. 5,000 Indian rupees here. Indian rupee 8,000 there. 12,000 Indian rupees somewhere else. None of them feels catastrophic. But together, they can consume a huge portion of your income. And now your future income is already spent before you receive it. That's the trap. You aren't just spending today's money. You're borrowing against tomorrow's money. The status trap. But there's an even deeper reason people fall into lifestyle inflation. It's not always comfort. Sometimes it's identity. You get a promotion. And suddenly you feel like you should look successful. You buy the car because everyone at work has one. You upgrade your phone because your old one feels embarrassing. You move into a more expensive neighborhood because you don't want people to think you're falling behind. You start spending money not because you need the thing, but because of what the thing says about you. And this is one of the most expensive psychological mistakes you can make. Because now your purchases aren't solving problems. They're solving emotions. You feel insecure. You buy something. You feel successful. You feel stressed. You shop. You feel left behind. You upgrade. The purchase gives you a temporary emotional reward. But the bill stays. And eventually, you need another purchase to recreate that feeling. That's how consumption becomes a cycle. The wealthy mindset nobody talks about. Now, this doesn't mean you should live like a monk. You don't need to hate spending money. You don't need to drive an old car forever. You don't need to stop enjoying life. The real lesson is different. When your income rises, Don't automatically let your expenses rise at the same speed. This is one of the simplest ways to accelerate wealth building. Imagine you earn 50,000 Indian rupees. You spend 40,000 Indian rupees. You save 10,000 Indian rupees. Then your income increases to 70,000 Indian rupees. You could increase your lifestyle by 20,000 Indian rupees. Or you could increase your lifestyle by 8,000 Indian rupees and save the remaining 12,000 Indian rupees. Now your lifestyle improves. But your wealth building engine also gets stronger. And if you continue doing this every time your income rises, something powerful happens. Your income grows faster than your lifestyle. The gap between the two gets wider. That gap is where wealth is built. The wealth gap. Think about two people. Person A earns 50,000 Indian rupees and spends 45,000 Indian rupees. Person B earns 50,000 Indian rupees and spends 35,000 Indian rupees. Both earn exactly the same amount. But person B has something person A doesn't have. Financial flexibility. Now imagine both receive a 20,000 Indian rupees raise. Person A increases spending by 20,000 Indian rupees. Person B increases spending by 8,000 Indian rupees and saves 12,000 Indian rupees. 5 years later, they may have completely different financial lives. Not because one person was smarter. Not because one person discovered some secret investment. But because one person allowed every raise to disappear, while the other captured part of every raise. That is the difference between a higher income and actual wealth creation. The 24-hour rule. So how do you avoid this trap? Start with something simple. Whenever your income increases, don't immediately upgrade your lifestyle. Give yourself time. Maybe you receive a 15,000 Indian rupees raise. Instead of immediately deciding where to spend it, pretend the raise doesn't exist for a month. Let the money sit. Then decide intentionally. Maybe 8,000 Indian rupees goes toward investing. 3,000 Indian rupees goes toward an emergency fund. And 4,000 Indian rupees improves your lifestyle. Now you still enjoy your success. But your future self gets to enjoy it too. Separate rich from looking rich. Another powerful rule is this. Stop confusing looking rich with being financially secure. A person driving a luxury car may have a huge loan. A person wearing expensive clothes may have no savings. A person living in a beautiful apartment may spend almost everything they earn. Meanwhile, someone quietly investing every month might look completely ordinary. But 5 or 10 years later, their financial situations could be dramatically different. One person bought the appearance of wealth. The other bought actual financial freedom. And actual wealth is often boring. It looks like money you didn't spend. Investments nobody sees. An emergency fund sitting untouched. A low debt balance. A growing net worth. And the ability to say, I don't need this job desperately. That is wealth. The 3 questions. So before making your next major purchase, ask yourself 3 questions. First, do I actually need this? Or have I simply become used to wanting it? Second, if my income stopped for 6 months, would this purchase make my life harder? And third, will this purchase increase my freedom or increase my monthly obligations? That third question is especially powerful, because some purchases genuinely improve your life. A better laptop might help you earn more. Education might increase your skills. A reliable vehicle might save time. A comfortable home might improve your quality of life. But other purchases simply increase your expenses without increasing your freedom. Learning to tell the difference is a major financial skill. The real goal. Here's the biggest idea I want you to remember. The goal of making more money isn't to create a more expensive version of your old life. The goal is to create a life where money gives you more choices. Maybe that means working fewer hours. Maybe it means starting a business. Maybe it means taking a career risk. Maybe it means helping your parents. Maybe it means traveling without worrying about debt. Maybe it simply means sleeping peacefully because one unexpected expense won't destroy your finances. That's what money is supposed to do. It should create options, not obligations. And the middle class trap happens when every increase in income becomes another increase in lifestyle. You get a raise. Your rent increases. You get another raise. Your car gets upgraded. Another raise. More subscriptions. Another raise. Bigger house. And eventually, you're earning more than you ever imagined. But you're still waiting for the next paycheck. So the next time you get a raise, don't immediately ask, "What can I afford now?" Ask a better question. How much freedom can I buy with this extra money? Because there's a huge difference between earning more and becoming richer. Earning more increases your income. Keeping more increases your options. And investing the difference can eventually turn those options into freedom. The biggest money trap isn't always having too little money. Sometimes, it's constantly convincing yourself that you need a more expensive life just because you're earning more. So don't let every raise become a new bill. Let some of your raises become assets. Let some become investments. Let some become freedom. Because the person who looks richest today isn't necessarily the person who will be richest tomorrow. Sometimes, the person quietly saying, "I don't need to upgrade," is the one who's actually winning.